Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to a review of a new version of Big Red, and I mean a new version. So to anyone who's looking at this and thinking, what the hell are you doing to your trains? Luke, come on man, it's okay, stop doing this. This is actually based on a real design. This is called Garratt, Garratt. So it's actually quite a complicated design, but I think I've pulled it off. But there's a couple of things I don't like about it. So first of all, the driver wheels I feel need to be much bigger. But the designs that were made only have it so big. There are Super Garratts, which is a thing, which is probably something I won't be attempting in the future. But it's interesting nonetheless. And the second thing is, it's red. And red is a very difficult colour to make a train out of. Believe me, I know. Evidence, look in front of you. So we're going to go from front to back, and I hope you will enjoy. So the idea of the Garratts was to have tender, boiler, tender. This is the first tender. I believe one holds coal and one holds water. I'm not 100% sure on what the design thing was. But one thing that was made sure was one train wheel scheme there, and the other one basically flipped behind it. So normally it would be 462, but this is 464. I've got those there just to kind of fill the space. Preferably I would have liked it if I had more red wheels. I'll probably make another order for those in the future, but that's only if this model stays like this. And honestly, it might do, because it's something that's very different, and I do like it at the moment because obviously it's new, but if it sticks around, that's another story. So I've taken off the lights that was on the face of the engine. As you can see there, is now here at the front. And I think that is much nicer because obviously it makes more sense for it to be there too. So if I switch the points so you can see what the little swivel... Is it swivel points? Sure, let's go with that, like the swivel points I like. So the tender is fixed to the wheelbase there. This is obviously loose with a little connection underneath. You could just see the shadow above my finger. This has been raised as well, a little bit higher. Before I made these modifications, this was like a little base plate attached to the front of the boiler here. But that was changed, and I like this idea of it being raised a little bit more because, for the sakes of the tender. There was another swivel point there and there for the boiler. So that is how it gets around the corners. If you ask me, the boiler is a bit too long, but at the same time, I want to use more of those pieces. I did reduce it down by 4 stars, basically getting rid of one section of these, so it's 6 of these red slope pieces put back into the box, but it's not too bad. In terms of the actual wheels themselves, I haven't really changed anything. These wheelbases are still the same as they were previously. I've just added a little piece underneath to attach these pieces to. There is a bit of a gap, which I think is a good thing, because I want it to have a bit of breathing space. Plus, I wanted to try and keep some realism to the actual design. The boiler, it did have a couple of... I think there were some changes made here. Just a little playing around to see what worked. But there's nothing too important going along there. If we go back to the cab, now this is an actual thing. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a hopper, like there's something feeding into there. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the design. But this it's supposed to have a little tank engine look with another tender behind it. It's odd looking, but at the same time, it's the design, so I'm going by that. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Now this is where, like a door would be, where you would get in. But I didn't actually build it with a door, but you understand the realism and the concept of the design. Yes, that's how you get in and out. Just gonna have to deal with it for now, okay? That's fine. So, going to the back tender, I feel like this is a lot lower than the front one. But if I actually pull the express around, one sec, give me a moment. Come on. There we go. It's actually level with the coaches, well, nearly level. So it's actually a lot taller than I first thought. And another thing to take in is that this base plate is, it stops less higher, lower, sure, in lower heights than this one. So underneath here, that's a bad example. Let me go put it back on the points. There we go. So as it swivels round, there we are. You can see there are some black pieces built underneath the tender, so it matches the height of this and makes it a lot nicer and smoother as it goes around the corners. I don't want to have too many gaps. Like, these gaps make sense. Having a gap there and there do not. Besides, it would just look silly. Overall, that's all I have to really say about this engine. It is... trying to lean for the express. Let's get it out of the way. Okay, restart. So that's all I have to say about this engine. It's nothing too different in terms of actual modifications to, like, some of the stuff. I've taken the tender apart, and basically almost all the pieces were from the original, like from Big Red previous to this, to turn it into the Garratt. But, you know, just when you make something new, you just look at it and go, just wow. Like I did with the Blue Guardian when I made it streamlined, I was like, this is so good. It just really is. So, thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.